Why are we crooked?
No, are you really still?
It looks crooked to me. But what of... Oh, there we go.
Perfect.
Are we on? We're live.
Yeah, you're live.
Shark Tales.
Woo.
With Andy.
With Andy.
Pre-gaming. Pre-racing? What do you call this?
Yeah, it's not, because it's not tailgating.
No.
The night before. Pre-gaming, that makes sense.
Okay. So we're at Hanford. The fairgrounds at Hanford.
Whoa. That's the wrong track.
I know. I'm at the wrong track.
We're at the wrong track.
So, yeah, tomorrow night, Friday night, the Peter Murphy Classic kicks off in Tulare, California. It will be the Sprint Car Challenge Tour and the NARC King of the West 410s.
KWS.
And then the same exact show moves to Hanford on Saturday. So all the fools that make it out of Tulare in one piece get to come try again on Saturday at Hanford. But there's a pretty good group of campers here already.
Already, yeah. I was surprised how many people we got already.
So,
Well, we were like the last ones to show up.
We were, but like still, it was pretty
you
bad.
got here right before it got dark, so I give you credit there. There's nothing worse than unloading and hooking up your motorhome.
No, we still kind
in
of
the
had
dark.
to use a flashlight, so
Almost
made it.
How was the trip down beautiful 99, Highway 99?
Yeah, like you were just saying, Merced was... Lisa, she could grab the oh shit handle only a few times during our trip. But
I had to leave. I had to go away.
It
one was definitely in Merced, like the tight quarters. I tried to rail a
It's
a
even
big
time.
rig.
Okay, let me tell you this.
Yeah.
On the way home, don't go in the right lane. Get in the separated left lane. I can't imagine the left lane any tighter than the right lane, because when I towed the rig home from Merced 3 weeks ago, I was at speed, and then it was like, oh, I don't need to slow down, and then it was like, oh shit, I need to slow down, man. Don't look in the mirrors, don't do nothing.
White knuckling it at that point, and then you're at night. That's no fun.
And yeah, as narrow as it is, it's just as rough. So,
all right, left lane. Going home. Got it.
So here's my thing. I got here early, so me and Candace wanted to kill some time. Have you ever been to a Sonic drive-in?
Yeah.
Okay. I have never been to a Sonic drive-in.
Wow.
I've seen them. I've always wanted to try one. I'm a big ice cream guy. I love ice cream.
Oh, jeez.
So
should be right up your alley.
Get this. So, never been to a Sonic. I see the commercials. I mean, everything they do looks good to me. So we go. We have to go to the drive-in, and you can't go into this. I don't know if you can go into any of the restaurants.
Yeah, I don't know. It might be like walk-up window or
okay,
something.
well, we walked up, and I'm ordering everything. I'm going to try everything. The tater tots, the hamburgers, the corn dogs, chicken tenders. I mean, I got the whole damn list, and then I go, yeah, I want the whatever. I got the Super Blast ice cream thing. And he goes, oh, yeah, ice cream's down. I'm like,
at a Sonic?
Yeah, I look at Candace, I'm like, he didn't just say that. I said, no, I do. I want the Oreo Blast, whatever the hell it was. He goes, no, the ice cream machine's down. And I said, cancel the whole order. We're out of here.
Did you really?
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, the only reason I went there was for the ice cream. I was just going to get the food just for the hell of it.
Well, that's devastating.
No, I was pissed. It did ruin my day.
That is interesting. That's almost like their bread and butter. Like that. I feel like you'd have a backup or
2
something.
2 o'clock or something. It was like I told
professional.
Candace, I'm like, you clean the ice cream machine at 2 in the morning, not at noon.
They were cleaning.
There.
It wasn't broke. They were cleaning.
Hanford Sonic Drive-In Restaurant. You suck ass.
Dang.
I don't know if I'll ever go to a Sonic. I will not give him a second chance.
Maybe it's just the wrong town. You got to pick a different town. You'll be good to go.
Anyways, all right.
Shakes are good. Shakes are good there, right?
I wouldn't know. So your stupid wife.
I still see rings.
Put out this back call about we're gonna do a pregame tonight, and we want to. Does anybody have any questions for us?
Okay.
I saw the questions. They're all stupid. We're
You
not
already
answering any
saw
of
the
them.
questions?
No, we're not answering one of them.
Blake Cook says, is it cold?
No, buddy.
Well, I'm in a sweatshirt and a
I bet
jacket.
it's cold where you are.
He's not
in
even cold.
Washington.
He's
No,
the guy's
it's
cool
not
as
bad.
ice, and he's not cold.
Nice man.
So everybody who wrote in questions on Facebook, we're not answering one of them. Stupid questions. Stupid answers.
The first one was good, though.
What was it?
How-
I'm just joking.
How many fights have you been in at the racetrack?
Ooh, 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 ooh.
None. I've been in a...
None.
Listen.
Wait a minute.
There's hardly ever fights. Like, legit fights. Like, Donnie Allison and Cale Yarborough and Bobby Allison, like, legit swinging helmets and stuff. Mm-hmm. That seldom happens. Us drivers, we act tough, and we go push and shove, and nobody ever really does anything.
Have you ever been in a fight?
No. Like, I'm a lover,
Sean
not a
has.
fighter. What?
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 When?
Playing basketball.
Oh.
Oh,
They're talking about racing, dude.
No, I'm just saying like a fight. He got jumped.
Things get real at rec league basketball games. I can see that.
No, it's like
This is
playground.
This is playground
Playground ball.
Like,
Like, what grade?
I was
College.
out of high school.
What?
Yeah.
Well, let's divulge into this.
There was just a group of guys, like, we're playing basketball at park, playground, whatever. Hoops are small, so whenever hoops are small, you get the guys that come out who with a little bit of athletic
small,
ability. Like short, sorry.
So you can slam it.
Basically.
I love those.
Yeah,
words. Okay.
but you need a little bit of athletic ability, but whenever that happens, like, people come out of the woodwork, and there was a big group of people, they came, you could smell the alcohol on them, so they were just looking for trouble, and I was playing in the game. My buddy didn't get on that game, so he was kind of keeping score on the sidelines. Well, they didn't like how he was keeping score, thought he was messing it up for whatever team.
You know those scorekeepers.
Yeah. Try sleeping with them. Jeez.
Were you sleeping with that scorekeeper? Did you
No.
say he was your buddy, or was that a guy?
He's a dude. Yeah.
Hey, we're in California. It's all good. So explain the fight.
Well, so I've never been in a situation like that before. So they're arguing. I'm still trying to play basketball. All of a sudden, I turn around and two guys are going after him. And he's kind of been in this situation before, so he's kind of dodging and kind of like juking him out.
He's an expert.
Well, I'm like, I'm gonna be the hero. Run over and just kind of grab somebody just to pull him off, because basically, because it's just like you said, like fights at races, like there's no really fights. There's people arguing, then somebody pulls somebody back, and then it's over. So I'm thinking that's what I'm gonna do. Save my friend. All right, guys, let's back off. All of a sudden, I'm on the ground. Like,
somebody sucker punched you?
I don't know what it was. It could have been a punch, could have been a kick. I don't know, but I was on the ground and then getting kicked and hit, and like I just kind of remember covering up, and then they like left and went after my buddy, and I just walked home. That was about it.
So
Good stuff.
I could a quick story about my dad. He did get in a fight one time. They were MFing somebody, and everybody's MFing each other, and the fight was on. And then my dad and his buddies ran off, and as they're running, my dad's buddy's saying, "They knocked my front teeth out. They knocked my front teeth out." And my dad's like, "No, you're fine." And finally, they get safe somewhere, and he says, "Look, Rich." He goes, "Yeah, you're right. They did knock your front teeth out."
Oh man. But so what?
Hey,
This
let me
80s?
drop
this 80s.
No, let
70s?
me drop some knowledge on you. Oakland Raider great Gene Upshaw might have been involved in this fight.
No way.
Yeah, NFL Hall of Famer Gene Upshaw was in this fight.
Okay. Where was this?
It was down in the Bay Area,
Okay.
Berkeley. My dad was in the National Guards. He spent some time in the National Guards.
Oh, I'm thinking this was race. This wasn't a race.
No, this wasn't
Okay.
racing. No, this was National Guards.
Okay.
A bunch of drunk idiots out
Oh,
there. But
God.
anyways, I've never
I
been.
thought we had a racetrack.
I know. Sorry, we got sidetracked.
Way to go, Lisa.
I've never been really hit or kicked or knocked down. Oh, you know what? I take that back. I did throw a 2x4 at Power Feed one night in 1999, 23 years ago, and the fight was on. I mean, there was like the ants coming out of the hills, and I remember looking face down on the track. I still have my helmet on, and I'm like getting my face drug across the dirt, thinking to myself, "Man, this isn't the best place to be." But I mean, I didn't really get hit or hurt that night either. But so that's the extent of my fights. Nothing crazy. Not like this guy.
Hey, you got a great fight,
Boys in the hood.
Yeah, Jeff, I needed your
That was a
help
great
back
fight.
then.
I was
wasn't
joking
a
to my
fight.
guys, hey, let's put our helmets on and try to punch each other out.
We're live on TV.
Live on
see,
TV.
I think you're thinking fights are like boxing matches, but like no, like that's UFC type stuff. Like
Yeah,
you guys
Jeff
wrestling around
Jeff
over
was giving me
there.
all kinds of tips on that.
I
I'm
know.
like, I don't know how to do that.
You
Why are
need to
you
get in a
hitting
fight
to the
when
head?
Jeff is on your team.
Body
That's what
shots
you
are
need to
open.
do. Right?
All right, what's
Body
the next
shots
You got a
are
question?
helmet.
open.
Biggest win to date.
A couple weeks ago, Placerville Point Show. That was pretty big.
My biggest win was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, the next one. That's the biggest one. Yeah.
That was a dumb answer. What was seriously? What was your?
That was a dumb question.
No.
Everybody has a favorite.
Well, I know your biggest win.
Yeah. Outlaws 2012.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't know that feeling. Okay, so I'm gonna just probably do something silly.
Calistoga.
I liked winning at Calistoga for the first time, and I liked winning my first King of the West NARC race for the Family Auto Service.
Where was that at?
Chico. You know, I did win. All you fools think I don't know how to race down here. I won a NARC race down here from 17th. That was cool.
Yes.
I don't want to talk about that.
I was like, was that the night you should have won?
Hey,
So
shoulda, coulda, woulda.
so
If
we're-
my aunt had a
we're-
dick, she'd be my uncle.
We're in Hanford today. I've never won here before, but my third year ever in a race car, out here, King of the West, leading the race, and at that point I didn't know you can lean the fuel line out to kind of save fuel under yellow. Well, we had to stumble with our motor, so like I was trying to clean the motor out every single lap on the backstretch.
Guzzling fuel.
Yes. But Tim Kading was behind me. He was in the Beef Packer car at the time, or Roth,
Yeah,
whatever. But,
83.
like, holding him off. Like, if you're holding Tim Kading off at Hanford, like, you're doing something good. Held him off. Like, he was actually, I think, driving so hard, he kind of went off the track, let this guy by in for second, and then a couple laps later, like, what's going on? I don't know what's happening. I'm just freaking baby rookie racing, and I just put along, like, still got like 8th place or whatever, just ran out of gas, and this
With 2
guy,
laps to go. That's how big your lead was. 2 laps to go. Ran out of fuel. No.
I started 17th. How much of a freaking head start did the poor guy need?
God, that was devastating. Yeah, and so yeah, that was like 3 years into my racing career, and I'm like, all right, well, and I was like really, like, it took me a while to get good at this place, like, or I won't say I'm even good at this place because I haven't won here yet, but like, you could see, like, I was definitely progressing, and then, like, almost had that win. I'm like, all right, well, wins are going to be coming here. 20 years
That was
later.
2004, yeah.
Yeah, 20.
Did you get second the next night?
I think we might have, podium the next night. But, yeah. Damn. Every race that I've let Forsberg win
Was
been
my favorite
worst.
How many times have you let Forsberg win?
I know, like, I was asking Andy, like, man, we have all these, like, wins accumulated between the two, but I wonder how many seconds we have of each other,
Like
of
1,
those
2.
wins. It's like,
We need to put
it's got to be a lot.
Put Elijah on that.
Yeah, Brad Kennedy or Elijah on that. They're
Yeah, that's
nerds.
a fun
they
little
like
task
stats.
for you guys.
I love stats. Look it up, boys.
Look it up. Favorite tracks?
My 3 are pretty simple. Just Chico, Placerville, Petaluma. Those are my 3.
I like those 3 as well, and you could throw in Marysville too. I like Marysville as well.
Okay.
So you guys don't
This
like big tracks?
new
No,
layout.
I'm a short track specialist.
Well, actually, I always love coming here. I haven't got to win here, but I always love coming here. I don't know why. But, like, the first time I ever went to Tulare, I think was, like, 03 maybe. And, like, we had never been anywhere outside of Marysville, Chico, and Placerville at that point. So then we come here, and then, like, we're kind of getting unloaded and everything. I'm all, I should go look at this track. I had never seen, like, videos of it or anything. And so I take my little bike, and I go out to the push-off lane. I go out, I'm all, oh, this is pretty big. Like, okay. And, like,
Super Speedway.
Yeah. I got wiped out. And it was a NARC show. Got wiped out. Started front row. Jonathan Aller, like 3 laps later, just ran over my front end, and we were
What a jerk.
loaded up going home.
Was it the main event or the heat race?
It was just a heat race.
Oh, Jesus.
Drove all the way to Tulare.
Hanford. Tulare?
It was Tulare.
Tulare.
Drove all the way down there to get taken out in the heat race, and loaded up and went home. Fun night.
How many of these young kids don't even know that Tulare used to have a fence? Like a real fence that we could rip down.
Right.
That did
That-
get ripped
that would
down
take
multiple
an
times
hour.
every
Oh
night.
my gosh,
Hour to rebuild.
all you youngsters that used to have a chain link fence at Tulare, and they had plastic like vinyl,
Yeah.
and we'd get up there and rip it down. There was one night at Trophy Cup, somebody had half the damn vinyl fencing on their wing, and it was flapping back there. This is a trophy cup. And then I remember standing next to Steve Faria. We were watching, I don't know, some race, and the fence got ripped down. I think he had a hamburger in his hand. He threw that down. And I'm like, rough night, huh? He goes, this ain't ever happening again. And that winter is when he built the freaking the boilerplate wall. Yeah, it became the Thunderdome.
Were you there the year that Jason Staller was going down the backstretch and the billboard just fell?
Yes, I was there. Yeah, that was great too. Yeah, I think it ripped the sideboard off or something.
Yeah.
How scary would that be?
Right? Well, like, you don't know. Like, you can't see it. All of a sudden, it's like, you're gone.
Calistoga, when we used to take the green flag of the main events, we used to knock branches out of the trees on the backstretch.
Oh, really?
Before Abru went in there and, trimmed all that shit down. But, I mean, yeah, those trees used to, really hang over hang over the backstretch. And, yeah, those first couple races, and you got 24 cars taking the green, we'd take the green, then if you were closer to the front, you'd come back around. There'd be branches and shit in the track. Yeah, it was like, oh, boy.
Geez.
Branches better than rocks, though? How many helmets and everything have you gone through with rocks at?
So I was in the X1 car in a heat race following Mason Moore. This is the first time we won that night. First time in the car. Like, we didn't even get to hot lap because something happened with the spark plug. So went out and qualified second.
Tooch.
That was Tooch.
Wrong.
But you had us ripping for qualifying. We qualified second behind Rico. And then ended up winning that night. But anyways, in the heat race, they had a titanium rock screen right behind Mason Moore down the backstretch. I saw the rock coming, and then once it hit, it sparked like
white sparks.
Yes, right in front of your face, and then it hits you in the head. It's like you thought the whole world exploded. Like, it was the craziest thing. I backed up quite a bit after that and said, you can have third place in the heat race.
When my dad raced there, he never ran a rock screen.
Man.
And there was a lot of rocks back then in the 80s.
When men raced.
Yeah. Well, his theory was when you flipped, you didn't want more crap flying apart and flying in the cockpit. So, that's why he didn't run a rock screen. But, yeah, he broke a couple helmets down there.
I'm sure.
Worst crash?
I don't remember.
I have a couple.
Neither one of you remember.
I remember a couple.
I remember one for you, Andy, in Stockton.
Stockton?
Stockton.
That was
turn 4.
That was Sean.
Oh, yeah, I did flip my ass off. That wasn't that. I mean, it was
slammed the wall hard.
that. I should have just hit the wall and kind of kept going, but instead it just flipped. It just hit and flipped. But my worst crash would probably be I got my bell rung at Paris. I actually non-wing show, got upside down, blah blah blah, got knocked out. But yeah, I actually had dirt in my helmet vents from. I mean, the cage did one of those right in the dirt. So I'm assuming my head hit the track because I had all that dirt packed in there. And yeah, there's about 12 hours of that day I still don't remember. And then, Marcus Niemela, he dumped me at the Trophy Cup non-wing prelim. And that was 2013. My ribs still hurt. Seriously still hurt from that, yeah.
Still now.
Yes, 7-8 years later.
360. You got a concussion at the Gold Company.
I did get my bell rung at Gold Cup in 2001, yeah.
Was that your first concussion?
Yeah.
Sean's first concussion, I think, was 2000. Well, it was Fall Nationals.
It might have been 03.
In the warm-up lap.
No, we went green, babe. Come
what?
on.
No.
Are we talking about practice?
Yeah, I know.
You crashed in practice?
No, I did not.
You get a concussion?
Woman? Hey, I got a concussion, but I remember what happened. No.
You didn't remember what happened.
No, you're right. I didn't remember. So it's funny. I think we, transferred out from the C to the B to the A or whatever, and feeling real good about ourselves, and took the green, went one lap, and then a yellow came out, but I'm at the back of the pack, went high in 3 and 4, and I should have slowed down, didn't, fell off the edge and backed into the wall. That's always the worst when you back into the wall. And
that's the booby trap spot at Chico. That's horrible.
Yeah, that was the first time.
Before the foam blocks that you installed that saved people's lives.
If you want to hit the foam blocks, though, you still got to get a ways down. The foam blocks aren't all the way up in turn 4.
I don't know if that would have saved me, but
yeah, if you're going to crash. Is that Rick Haw watching? Hee-haw! Rick Haw. I watched Rick Haw flip his ass off at the Fall Nationals one time, too. Damn near flipped all the way to his trailer. That's before they had the fences up there.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he hauled with a school bus. He had a school bus enclosed deal.
Yeah.
And he damn near flipped the thing into the school bus. 93 Fall Nationals, maybe.
93. How do you?
Anyways,
He's an
oh
old
my
man.
gosh, I wish I was this smart in real life with that I am with racing stats,
Your
but it's sad.
encyclopedic mind.
All right, what other dumb questions we got?
Do you eat dinner before or after the races?
Oh, after.
After.
This guy eats. Damn, I don't
I
know how.
can, I can eat during. It doesn't even matter.
Who almost threw up watching you eat a Chipotle burrito?
It was probably him. I don't
Was
know.
it you?
No, but it's not like, oh my god, I'm so nervous I can't eat. I just don't like that in my stomach while I'm in there all cinched down. And the straw that broke the camel's back was I was driving for the family auto service and they brought a bunch of chocolate chip cookies and I was like the cookie monster. I just couldn't stop eating them. And then, you know how, I don't know,
You won
I'm
that night,
an
though.
eating like lunatic, but like I eat so fast and then all of a sudden like catches up to you and it's like, whoa, crap.
Yeah, we should almost do these during our dinners after the races because this guy is just ravenous. It's
Yeah,
like he hasn't
afterwards,
eaten
it's
all
on.
race long, and then whatever energy we're exerting out on the racetrack, whatever. Like he comes in and just hot dog, burgers, like just one
No,
after
hot dog.
another.
Hot dogs and
That's what I'm saying.
But
That's
I've
multiple,
seen this
man.
guy eat some big Chipotle burritos. I'm like, dude, that's all going to be in your stomach in the race car in a half an hour. Are you sure? Yeah, I don't care.
Okay, this is twice now. So, any superstitious quirks you perform?
Nah, not really.
I think we've talked about this before. Yeah, not really.
I am not superstitious at all.
He doesn't like people to touch his helmet. That's his.
I mean, that's not really superstitious. That's just germs. I don't want people touching my stuff.
He is a germaphobe.
Yeah.
Just FYI, people.
Unless you're a cute girl, you can touch my helmet.
Oh my god.
Touch my fire suit too.
Tell the story of Alan wrecking your sprint car at Placerville.
Uh-oh, who asked that?
Buddy Fred Jensen
Oh.
Jr.
Okay, so we had a bet with Alan Handy, Alan Pageant, who had a few laps under his belt throughout the years that he couldn't come within a second of my time qualifying, and I think we bet pit passes at Gold Cup or some damn thing. And then he went out there and he got like 6 laps. He didn't just get 2 laps because we gave him some chance to kind of warm up. For some reason, this push truck guy drove down the bank in turn 4, and then he just parked in turn 4 while Alan was... Yeah, like he was going to watch while Alan's at speed. The car was a little snug, and like by the 5th lap, Alan didn't negotiate it right, which he shouldn't have because he's not a race car driver.
Yeah.
And the thing kind of did one of these in the right rear, and he just drove straight off the track and just drove right into this Blazer. Oh man, destroyed the car.
Oh.
The Blazer spun like 360
destroyed
degrees.
the Blazer. Destroyed
Well,
the
I
race
don't
car.
think it did any justice to the Blazer. I'd probably knocked the rear end out of it, but yeah, I mean it killed the frame, the front end.
Oh,
He didn't tip over, but the Blazer like got into the top wing, killed the front wing, top wing, radiator, both wheels, tires.
Oh my
I
God.
mean, no, it destroyed my car.
Oh, jeez.
This is not even past qualifying.
Did you get pit passes?
I know. Did you at least get taken care of for Gold Cup?
Well,
That's important right now.
he did write us a check for damages, which some people said that, some people said that was way too much, and some people said it wasn't enough. But I mean, he tore a lot of shit up. Let's just say that.
The push truck driver should have written the check.
Yeah, well, I don't know why he was down there, but end of story.
Somebody mentioned something about the lights going out at Chico. That was a good night.
That was a great night.
Was that
Didn't a
5 laps
cat-
in?
No, like 3. Didn't a cat jump into a transformer or something?
I was already at my
No.
trailer. I don't know what the hell I
You
did.
weren't racing it?
I was racing, yeah. But
No, but you weren't in the main?
No, I was pissy and cranky and whatever. I don't know if I blew up or what, but I was in the trailer, and then I was walking. Well, I'll go see what's going on. All of a sudden, the lights all went out. I'm like, well, I guess I've kind of changed now.
Yeah, like, well, a lot of people's theories when in racing, like, it's a long race.
Can't win it on the first lap,
yeah,
right?
Can't win it on the first lap. Be there at
Heard
the
that
end.
before at the driver's meeting.
I started second row. Statler was on the front row. I got him on lap 1. Lap 2, coming around, go past the flag stand. Every single light in the place, like in the block, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was everything went out.
Transformer.
And then we got these little gauges for RPMs and temperature, and
Oil pressure and temperature.
sorry,
Come
oil
on.
pressure. What
Jeez,
did I
Jesus.
say?
RPMs. The RPM
Jeez,
gauges
yeah.
light up.
What the hell? So they like lit up like a Christmas tree.
Yeah, the
like,
old odometer glow in the dark.
Usually they do, like, it's hard to tell because there's always so much light around. Well, when every light in the place went out, like those like lit up.
You knew how
crazy.
hot your motor was.
It was insane. Like it almost like that almost surprised me more than anything because then I was like blinded by like the lights to my gauge.
So where were you on the racetrack at this point?
So I was going down the front stretch.
Okay.
So like, and then the infield tires were white. So I could kind of see that. So obviously, like, I'm not still racing, but it's like, okay, but I'm not jumping on the brakes and letting the whole
Get
field,
asshole,
like,
yeah.
plow into you. So I just kind of woed up and luckily I could see those white infield tires so I can make.
I don't think
turn fine.
anybody got any damage or any, like, I don't
No,
think
yeah,
anybody
nobody
crashed or
got
anything
it.
because that was like a, oh my God,
a couple
listen.
times, and it's always kind of came out okay.
Mhm.
Most times
I saw a video
power.
recently in Australia, I think it happened, or it might have been an old video that reposted that I stumbled across, but the lights went out there and everybody kind of woed her down in a safe manner. And it's weird, I'm certain, you know, when the lights go out, when your eyes are acclimated to lights,
Yes.
and when the lights go out, it's super dark.
black. Yeah.
So, yeah,
And like,
good job.
but that happens in like the regular like road, like that's
That would be hairy.
yeah, that's like
Hairy, yeah.
guaranteed accident. But
Because they're amateurs.
I guess when
They're not
you got
professionals
race
like
car
us.
drivers out on the track, we know how to do it. We can take care of it.
So more wreck questions. Andy, was it the one in Chico when you rolled the family wingless 92 and landed on the K-rail?
Oh, yeah. One more flop, I would have been in Truly's campgrounds. I think that was Gold Cup.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You went that
You know,
way
I
off
screwed
the
my
floor?
I screwed my shoulder up pretty good in that one too.
You dislocated your collarbone.
So I flipped.
Dislocated your collarbone.
or
Can you do that?
dislocated.
Yeah, I think that's what the guy told me. My shoulder was all screwed up. So I flipped my ass off and I land, and I mean it knocked me a little silly. It didn't give me a concussion, but I mean it knocked the shit out of me. And so I sit there, and luckily it landed on the K rail, and so I'm sitting there, and it's like, okay, thank God I'm alive. And then the son of a bitch caught on fire. And I'm like, Jesus, I'm not in the mood to get out of this thing right now in this fast of a manner, right? Like, I don't want to get out yet. But I had to. Ugh.
That's scary.
But yeah, that was...
get out fast when there's a
Yeah,
fire.
I know. That definitely encourages you to get out. But yeah, I kind of wish I would have flopped one more time. It would have been kind of funny to land in Truly's pit and
It was already as bad as it was going to get.
yeah, Angus's and Truly's, Gold
could've
Cup
just left the car
campsite.
there.
You're just like, here I am, guys. Yeah, it's black and white
Black light
party
party.
tonight.
Black and white.
Because I know my ass is black and blue. But I didn't get over the fence, so yeah, no good stories.
Ain't that
Boring.
cool.
Boring.
Boring.
I sent it out the park at Petaluma a couple times.
Oh,
Turn one.
yeah.
So,
Are we
yeah,
already
one
talking
was...
about Stockton?
no.
Oh, we forgot about Stockton. Yeah, you got your ass handed to you at Stockton.
Yeah, but Petaluma, like,
Changes the subject.
Yeah.
I know.
should have been, like, worse. Like, Mike Benson, I'm following him, like
Laughing.
not even a... No. Like, he was, like, third, I was fourth, and he, like...
Oh,
The
wait,
same
Benson
speed.
was in third? Come on.
Promise.
Are you sure you weren't laughing him?
No, not this time.
I wonder if I talked to Mike on the way down. I hope he's watching. There's no way Mike Benson was in third.
Guarantee he was.
All right. No, Benson used to be up to speed. I don't know what the hell happened to him.
Yeah, but following him, like, 3 laps in a row, like, not even a car length separating us, and then he claims the muffler came off or something.
Yeah.
So he lifted down the front stretch. I am right on his right rear, jumped, sailed out the park, like, I don't... And
Through the exit.
yeah,
Where we got
through
off.
the exit,
Yeah.
but, like...
Which isn't very wide.
But I didn't hit the exit. I hit the post, like, to the left, like, to separate the exit and the track. Like, I hit that dead on. I don't know how I did not get hurt in that one. Like,
Did you landed out there like in the
Way
trees
out
though,
there.
right?
definitely landed way out there, but it was like, I remember jumping, and then when it came down, that's all I saw was that guardrail, and then you just kind of close, and
Jimmy truly had a kind of a wreck like that too.
Jimmy truly did?
Yeah.
I
At
think
Petaluma?
He knocked the turn 3 fence down though. He did the same thing on the other side of the track.
So I did that with Monoff too.
That
Like,
was in the 2SB car that you sailed it out.
yeah,
That's
sailed it
the
out
one
with
I
2SB. Monoff,
Yeah.
but spiked it in 3 and 4 and went through the plywood boards.
Yeah.
And then, tried to go off the front stretch fence too, coming off turn 4. Like we lost steering, bolt broke or whatever, and I went straight through that fence. Like
I don't think I was there that night.
how are you not
Why
at
would
Petaluma?
I not be at Petaluma?
Yeah, you have to have been.
In the with the 2SB car?
No,
That
when
was
he knocked the
35.
fence down in Dan's
Oh.
car, I can't remember why I feel like I wasn't there. But anyways, who cares why I was or wasn't there? Next question.
Oh. Have you ever tried to use the backstretch wall at Placerville to your advantage?
Advantage.
I used to drive up it all the time, and man, it used to piss Alan off. Quit driving up there. And you know, just sometimes the car just kind of goes up there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I use it or try to use it as an advantage, but I don't discourage it. Does that make any sense?
Right.
Sometimes you just kind of let the car do its thing, and if it wants to go up there and do that, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a wall. It's not going to hurt it. So.
Hey, Bradley, we
use
asked
that.
for first and second stats for these guys, so since you're on here asking questions, get on that.
Yeah, we'll answer his questions if he gives us our stats.
Okay. Andy's first Petaluma win was with my dad in 07 Civil War show. Van Leer sailed it out the exit gate and truly ripped turn 1 fence down the same crash.
I don't remember the crash, but he's right.
You're in somebody else's car?
No, it was my car.
Oh.
2007, I passed Andy Gregg for the win, and let's see. So I was the 2007 Civil War champ. Guess who was the Guess who was the rookie of the year that year?
In 07?
Oh, that's not the 07 one I'm mad about.
2010.
2010.
Who was?
Just some slap dick NASCAR champ.
Oh, Larson?
Oh, was Kyle the...
Yeah, so Kyle Larson was the
07.
rookie of the year
Okay.
in 2007 while I was winning the championship. And now I'm still here doing the same exact thing for probably less money, and he's making millions.
Probably less money?
Probably. We're spending a hell of a lot more, and we're making the same. So yeah, we're making less.
Are you racing tomorrow?
Yes.
Because I'm still like, it's Tulare.
Well,
it
we're at
hasn't
the wrong
changed.
track.
I know, we're camping at Hanford,
I can do
but-
one night at Tulare. I just can't do
Can't
3.
do- But you are doing 3.
I am.
You are doing Trophy Cup this
No,
year.
I'm not. I have
Why
not.
not?
I have not said that.
You're not allowed to sign up yet because they're still doing pre.
You know what? Here's the deal. I was gonna run
How
Trophy
can
Cup,
we
but
sign up?
I can't pre-register, so can't run. Dang it!
Oh,
I never
Ron
said I was
Rhoda,
running.
check that
I was
out.
never saying I was running Trophy Cup. I
Yes,
don't-
you did.
I
I'm
don't-
pretty sure we established this last year.
I'm pretty sure this conversation did come up.
Gunshots.
Yeah, all
You
the
guys,
gunshots are a little
quit
much.
spreading fake news. This is not CNN.
You had some fun last year, right?
I love Trophy Cup. It is my favorite race of the year. Now that the Vermille's not around, so I enjoy myself.
Wimmer, Andy, and Hockett used the backstretch hill during A main coming from the back in 07 to 09.
Yeah, I know of one night I started dead last. I don't know, we were all screwed up, and I started dead last at Placerville, and I got up to second, and Brandon Wimmer won in the Reddy Green Kumar 1K.
1K.
Yeah. If that's what that is referring to, I do remember
What
that.
was
What don't you remember?
what happened with Brandon Wimmer in Medford? Did something happen with him?
A push truck ran him over.
Well, a push truck ran him over, but something happened before that. Did he do something to you at one point?
No, nothing to me.
Mm.
Like, he had an aggressive driving style, and a lot of people in Placerville.
Who was he
weren't too
racing for
happy
at that time?
It was a 1K.
Oh.
He was in the
No,
beef
I thought he was in
packer
the beef packer car when he got
in
ran over.
Oregon, yeah.
We were all
Yeah.
gentlemen at Placerville.
Least favorite track.
Easy.
I mean,
Come on, spit it out. Quit being a baby. Just say it.
hey,
I don't know if I have a least favorite.
these women
One-car
are these
track.
women. Hey, did you know that it's a proven fact that men die first in marriage? Do you know why?
Yeah, because all they do is watch true crime shows, so they know
Because-
how to do it.
No, because they just want to.
Oh.
That
My
was way too analytical. He was just going for the easy, shut the women up.
I mean, I
No,
don't
I'm
enjoy.
expecting to get killed by my wife.
I don't,
She knows how to do it and how to get away
How
with
to
it
get
by
away with
now.
it.
I can't say that any of these tracks out here I don't like. I mean, there's just some that I begrudgingly go to because, you know, I mean, let's say we're going to go to Stockton Memorial Day weekend. I mean, I know that it's probably going to, you know, kill 8 tires, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
It's rough on cars, it's rough on motors, it's rough on body parts, rough on tires. So, I mean, that's a tight ass in me. I mean,
my thing with racing in the go-kart for so long, like they'd make up these little races at like the county fair or whatever.
Oh yeah,
like
you've talked to me about these.
And there's just, and like everybody be all excited and like,
It's
oh,
a
that's
fair
cool,
race.
yeah.
Everybody wants to run the fair race.
Yeah, and tons of people watch because they're just hanging out at the fair and like, what the hell's going on over here? And they come check out these stupid little go-karts running around in circles. But that's all we're doing is running around in circles because like there's no
The track
banking
sucks
to it.
ass.
Yes,
It's a temporary
none
track.
of those tracks were fun. Like you couldn't race on those tracks, so I always hated those. But there's not. I haven't been to a sprint car track that's like that to where it's like, oh god, because as long as the track is racy, like if it's got 2 grooves or something you can do, like Quincy was tough. That track never was racy. I did get a win there where we actually started in the high line and kind of worked down to the low line later in the race, so it actually got racy that night. But
my feeling on Quincy was I felt that it was too long and too narrow and too flat.
Yeah,
like I
super
felt like
narrow.
they had some room there to like maybe
Yeah.
design a properly shaped racetrack,
It was
which I feel
pretty.
Stockton has the room too to maybe shorten that thing up. I feel, my personal opinion, I'm not saying I'm right or wrong, I just think Stockton's too big.
yeah,
So, which
I
makes it
don't know.
hard on shit.
right.
Let's see. I had one other thing that was pretty cool that I was going to say, but not. Oh, shitholes. So we went back to Montana and raced in 1995. Mike Quigley put on this little speed week thing with a bunch of California teams went back and raced. Anyways,
OG 75, right?
yeah. We went to this track, I think it was Helena, and they had street lamps for lights. Like not like
Oh,
bright
really?
white lights. They were like sidewalk lights, and the wiring for these lights were all above ground on the infield. Ivan Warden ended up on the infield,
Oh no way!
ripped all the lights out, and ripped all the wires up, and the lights all went out.
Oh God.
I was already upside down by this point, so it didn't matter. I still don't get to experience the no light situation. But yeah, if you're talking about tracks I don't like that are shitholes, in 1995, Helena was pretty bad. Next.
Sean, when are you going to race a different class like Andy did with the mini truck?
Do you have the balls to
See,
race in multiple classes?
People
like I did?
probably don't know that you raced modifieds.
Yeah,
That is
I
true.
already been there, done that.
He's already driven the most ill-handling car on earth, so what the hell else you got to
Yeah,
prove?
That was so weird. It's weird going from a go-kart to a modified, definitely. But they got some good. They put on some good shows, some good racing.
Back
Did
in
you
the
watch
day,
it? Did
yeah.
you watch any of the speed weeks and stuff?
No, I didn't.
I watched a little bit of it on
Time.
Flow. Thanks, Flow, for having stuff like that. But
Were they good?
there was a couple good shows. It's crazy. There's always like 1 or 2 guys that is out front every single time.
Hey, the cream
Insane.
always rises to the top.
You know.
I heard they had like 63 people in the stands for the
I
one
was
race.
wondering about that.
I
'cause
did
it's
text
like,
Gary. I said, how are the crowds? He's all, not good.
That sucks.
Well,
man.
for one, and no offense, modified guys, I'm not trying to be like this jerky sprint car guy, but Northern California, Central California is wing sprint car country for whatever reason. I'm not saying it's
Yeah.
right or wrong. And the weekdays, so you have
Weekdays are
no
tough.
sprint cars on a weekday. You're not
Right.
going to get a crowd.
But it's funny because I've talked to like Kyler Shaw with Fast Four Media, and he's kind of mentioned like modifieds, like vendor cars, like back east or,
Oh, yeah.
or whatever other parts of the country. Like that's where it's at.
Sweets told me that the Outlaws go to tracks sometimes where they feel like they're the support class.
Yeah,
They want their late models, they want the modifieds.
Yeah.
Wing cars, yeah, whatever.
Why does California just have everything backwards out
So
here?
I
don't
sat
know.
next to Dave
weird.
We got a lot of
Abreu
shit
like the
backwards.
night that Rico got his very first midget race. And he was telling me about like, yeah, I love watching sprint cars and like love watching the midgets and stuff, but like late models, I watched some of the late models when I was back east, and
Oh, yeah,
that
they're
was
legit.
great.
Yeah.
And even like it always made me sad at Placerville. We'll get like 7 cars, but they were good. Like
Yeah.
I felt like it was good racing. even with few car count.
They have limited late models at Placerville?
Yeah, like every other week or so.
Okay.
But it's been the same 7 or 8, 9 guys there every freaking week. And thank God for Lightfoots. They bring 4 cars to the races every week. Else that division would be just down the creek.
They're the 23s, right?
Yep.
So the race that, like, the 2 of them, it was father-son, right? The last 2 cars on the track or something, and it was like...
That was a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah, because I was scoring that night.
I don't think the dad drives anymore.
Yeah,
that was a while ago, because I was scoring up there. And it was like, okay, Junior, pick your line. You're one row. There's 2 of you. You start side by side. Like, do you want to be inside or outside?
Let's see, we ran at Chico. When the hell was? I think it was Chico. Oh, it was the 410 show. You were in the 16A. Oh, we should talk about that. But DOC Mikey Allen, when both 41s were on the front row and it was Selzy, he kept saying, "Old 41, old 41, pick your line." I kind of thought that was funny.
I thought so too.
I said, that's not nice.
I thought it was funny.
Just use his name.
Yeah,
but you know what? But you know what's really funny? Like, I make a point, maybe because I'm married to a driver who's out there, I make a point not to make it personal. So I will say car numbers over and over again. But, like...
But he's like the 4D1.
I know.
So he's trying to say it,
right.
But like he doesn't know how to get past it.
I know, but I would be like, Selzy, pick your line.
Yeah.
Well, you're just so professional.
Shut up. I will ask people for help, though. What do you guys think about that? Like, how many times should you ask someone to move? This is me asking questions.
This goes back to my
here.
bazooka idea. If you don't do what you're told on the first time, I'd say blow his ass off the track.
Okay, so you can't do that, and then sometimes there's an official who doesn't know how to score that says, well, just don't score them. Well, it's not that easy, and if that person crashes into somebody, not scoring them didn't save that person from getting wrecked.
But what if they're really wrong?
Who's wrong?
Score.
Excuse me?
Well, the thing is, the
you.
scoring's
We just watched a race where the scoring was wrong.
Whether or not the scoring is right or wrong, once they say what to do, that is, you might figure out they are wrong
The
after
minimum
the fact.
is 2, though. Like
2 times?
The minimum is 2, because there's lots of times when I'm sitting there minding my own business, and they're like 35, go up 2. I'm like, oh, because like sometimes it happens a lot. I think you guys
The mics
talk
don't
before
come through,
you push the trigger, and like I won't catch that the number was just said, that my number was just said. So yes, give them a little bit of a break.
It is interesting to think that people in Florida and in Texas were able to talk to people on the moon, but yet we can't get people to talk to us clearly from the score booth down 100 feet down on the racetrack. And we're 60 years since that happened too, so it's really interesting.
We should still have somebody with a whiteboard in the infield.
I think the whiteboard always was good. I mean, you can see it.
Race,
right?
You're absolutely right, but if the asshole's not listening to you on the receiver, why is he going to pay attention to the drive board? It's the same guys every time that fight for positions that aren't theirs, and I swear to God, one bazooka blow, and they won't do it. Blast one SOB off the track with that bazooka, and people will be getting in line.
I agree.
End of story.
Well,
Next
when the Outlaws come to town, people get in line, right?
That's because the
Because
Outlaws
they know
rule
they
with an
will.
iron fist. Yes.
They will black flag you if you don't listen.
We get threatened, but nothing ever happens.
Guys, let's just breathe.
We're gonna do it.
Okay, so move into my next question that was asked, and I didn't write it down, and I didn't bring this, but favorite official
They're all my favorite.
and least favorite official.
Just ask everybody out there. They're all in my pocket. Guess what? Last 2 weeks ago, I won at Placerville. I ran my 410. Nobody cared. Yeah, because all the officials let me do whatever I want.
Why didn't you qualify quick time?
Well, I had to fake like I had a wimpy motor, and then once I got in the front row, I just won with my 410.
Good job.
I asked one time at it was at Tulare. We were scoring, and I don't know cars well enough to know, like, if it has a wing on it and it comes out there, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a 360 or a 410 or a 305. I have no idea. And they said, well, look at the nozzles on the motor. I'm in a booth that's 7,000 feet away from the track. Like, no.
Hey, the old schoolers used to have binoculars. They zoom in see on things.
They also used to score by hand with pencil.
Yep. So you were asking about favorite officials? Kenny Garcia.
No.
possibly least, maybe, if we're talking about favorite or least, he might be on the least side. Poor old Kenny. I know Troy used to mention he used to throw pencils across the scoring booth because, you know, he'd get a little frazzled every once in a while. And I think maybe some of his scoring showed the frazzleness.
Mike has thrown, like, clipboards down on the ground to where, like, I'm up there all intimidated because I'm with the out. Like, I still have that respect for them of, like, they're the shit, right? Like, they are the Outlaws, and they've treated me better than any other people probably I've ever scored with. They're just super nice and welcoming, and he got mad, I think at dawn, because he threw the flag or he turned the light on or something without Mike saying it first.
Our old Chico flagman, yes.
And that clipboard slammed down on the ground. I jumped, almost hit my head on like the bar that goes through the middle of the scoring tower in Chico.
We are talking about the same flagman that did not throw the white or the checkered for 3 laps after the race was over the year Allard won the Gold Cup. So I'm surprised he didn't get a clipboard to the head that night. But, yeah.
Racing heroes growing up.
See, and it's funny because, like, my driving style, like, wouldn't, like, kind of show this, but, like, all the fun guys to watch, like, growing up, like, Jack Honchild, like, Tim Kading, like, Andy Forsberg, like...
Are you saying I'm your hero?
Yes,
no,
growing up. Did you hear him when I was a little
Mr.
kid?
Excitement. Like, me getting into the sprint cars, like, you guys were fun to watch because, like, you were either winning it or wearing it, basically. Like, letting it all hang out.
You know this song?
That is not my style at all.
Bette Midler, she sings, Did You Ever Know That You're My Hero?
Yeah.
Will you sing me that song?
No, I will not sing you that song.
So my dad was probably my biggest hero racing. Man, I used to love watching him race. And then past my dad, you know, I was a Leroy Van Connick guy. This is before you, I know, and probably before anybody else out here watching knows. But yeah, Leroy, Hank Butcher, those were my guys, and my dad.
So my dad was definitely my hero.
Oh,
Like,
now you're copying me.
No.
Jeez.
Well, legit. Like, that's who...
Copycat? I already got the sentimental vote. Nobody cares about your bullshit now.
So,
you already said I was your hero. Can't change your answer.
Not say that.
Yes, you did. You're wearing my shirt, though. I mean, that is saying something.
Oh, this is your shirt?
Yeah, good job.
I thought I was supporting USA. Dang it.
No, it is cool to watch your dad race. I mean, that's pretty cool.
100%.
So you weren't allowed in the pits probably when your dad was racing when you were little because that wasn't
no,
a thing.
And it used to piss me off, let me tell you.
Because you couldn't go in the pits?
No. It had to be 16.
Sean used to sit up in the stands with the Allards, right? Your mom would watch. Well,
the Allards
Jonathan.
were in the grandstands, basically. We knew who they were.
Jonathan would be up there, though, like, next to you guys. And Sean used to take the, like, soda cup lid.
Yeah, I would get, like, a extra large soda, try to drink it as fast as I could, and then whenever it was empty, put it in my lap, and I was pretending like I was racing.
Nice.
There and stuff. But, like, yeah, Jonathan, like, when Steven just first started racing sprint cars, Jonathan was still super young, but he would, like, pace down across the grandstands, back and forth, like, just so nervous.
Oh, I used to get nervous when my dad raced, too, yeah.
Yeah. It's always hard, like, watching my brother race, like, he was, I don't know, like, it's just because I'm not in control, and, like, I'm rooting for him.
When he was in a sprint car, or when he races a go-kart?
Go-kart.
Oh, really? You get nervous in the go-kart?
Oh, big time.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Favorite driver nicknames?
The Flying Hawaiian, Shane Scott.
That is pretty cool.
That's a great name.
Yep. Jerry Miller at Grass Valley, the announcer used to call him Mr. Smooth. I always kind of thought that was cool.
How did you get Mr. Excitement?
That was because I was so raggy, I guess, as a driver early, and Bill Sullivan just started saying, oh, Mr. Excitement, which at the time I was like, wow, I made it. I got a nickname. Even though it was a nickname that Anthony Simone had, which was like the only Mr. Excitement. So now, you know, once I got old enough to kind of grasp the fact that, man, it's kind of corny, you got somebody else's nickname. So I don't really love the nickname. And honestly, I'm not Mr. Excitement anymore. I'm Mr. Moderately Amusing. So we need to change that. But yeah, nobody can be called Mr. Excitement if you've ever seen Anthony Simone race. So I mean, that dude was the original and the only Mr. Excitement. All of us other Mr. Excitements are just fakers.
Did your dad have a nickname? Oh.
Yeah, so my dad was called the Super Turtle.
The Super Turtle?
Yeah, I don't know, Robbie Pageant nicknamed him that or what? But yeah, that was his nickname at West Capitol.
That might be the greatest name I've ever heard.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and it's one of
those...
Super
Turtle.
I mean, what the hell does that mean?
Right,
I mean, I know.
exactly. And for a race car driver?
Yeah, I mean, he was rolling at West Capitol back in the late 70s. I mean, he wasn't slow by any means. But yeah, I mean,
no, because he was Super Turtle.
He was making moves, not faking moves. The turtle was out there.
Who gave him that nickname?
It might have been Robbie Pageant. I don't know where he went. I'd ask him, but yeah. So then it was. The race team was actually called Super Turtle Racing Team for a while.
Oh, that's amazing.
Just as a joke. But,
that's great.
Yeah, so that was my dad's nickname.
Learning stuff new every day.
Oh, someone brought up that. Okay, so Andy 2x4.
Oh yeah, I was called 2x4. That was from that. I threw the 2x4, so it was Andy 2x4'sburg. So yeah, I threw a 2x4 one night at somebody because I threw a tizzy fit.
Sean, how did you get your start in sprint cars?
That is a good question. Yeah, you went from modifieds to sprint cars.
So
explain it.
My dad raced stock cars mid '80s, and then moved up to sprint cars. So I kind of thought that was almost like the progression that you were supposed to do. Like, you had like 3 divisions at Chico, like always. It was like the Bombers, Limited Sportsmen, and sprint cars or whatever. And like, oh yeah, you start in these and then you move up or whatever.
Jason York did that program. Yeah.
So we raced go-karts for a while. Then when I was a senior in high school, we got a modified. And just because my dad or my grandpa is a super motor guy, so
wait, what year is that?
99.
Okay, so not to interrupt, but fast forward 20 years, nobody goes from a go-kart to a modified now. Go-kart to a sprint car.
Yeah, and at 18 years old, like, I would have been an old guy.
What an old fogey.
I know. Look at this guy trying to think he's a racer. I got 4 years experience. But so I raced that for a year. And then the next year, I started the season out, but then my brother and my sister started racing modifieds also. So we had 3 modifieds between us.
Jesus, those things are a lot of work, too.
Exactly.
My buddy Tom Arpajas had one. Jesus, it was such a
straighten out the fenders and the porter power. Oh, my God.
And all the geometry and suspension in those things.
So it wasn't that, I don't think it was that complicated.
Back then,
okay. Yeah.
They didn't have all the bullshit rear ends going all 30 different directions.
I think these B mods are kind of the style that we had back then. But yeah, but we had three modifieds, and like race 3, I was.
How'd you get them all to the track?
We had a stacker trailer.
Oh damn!
We had one stacker trailer and then an open trailer. So yeah, so that was pretty cool. But like,
it seems like a lot of work.
I know. 3 races in, I was battling Randy McDaniels for the lead.
The GOAT.
Yeah.
The GOAT.
Tried to pass him on the outside. Decided to stuff it in the wall instead. So, and then I told my dad, I'm kind of over this. Like, so going from a go-kart to a modified was really hard. Like, the driving style was way different. Like, I had to kind of relearn how to drive. It was tough. So I kind of told my dad, Daniel and Jamie are racing, like, I don't really need to be doing this anymore. So I kind of took that year off, kind of went back to racing go-karts, and then I said, well, I think we want to try a sprint car. So we bought like an old spin-up Ryan Flynn frame. And speaking of that stacker trailer, Randy Van Kuren helped us all week, put the car together, got to the track, tried to start it for the first time, wouldn't start.
You didn't start it at home?
We weren't ready to start it at home. We were still trying
Just went to the races.
We were still trying to put everything together at the track. So, and this is before even hot laps. So, tried to start it, wouldn't start it. Keith Berge pushing us to the trailer, no brakes. So the stacker trailer that we had, I tried to run up that gate and boink, bounce right back.
Did the wing stop you?
The wing stopped me thanks to the stacks in there for the modifieds. So, yeah, that was my start in sprint
Did
car
you get
racing.
the car started that night?
So we didn't get to qualify.
Okay.
But I ran a heat race.
All right.
And then ran the B or whatever.
What'd you think? I mean, were you like, well, this is way better than that shitty modified? or-
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, it feels like a go-kart. I can
Okay.
do this.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So speaking of like the fights from like the first question, we were standing in the trailer after one night, and Ryan Flynn came up. Who was his girlfriend?
Oh,
Destiny
Dated the
Hayes.
There's a
The
nickname for you. The
Sensation.
The
Sensation.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
And he starts yelling at Sean.
So after the races, you're kind of in the trailer or whatever, ho-hum, like cleaning everything up, and Ryan comes over, he's all, hey, you got a problem? Like, no.
Do I? I don't
And he's
know.
like, why are you driving like that? I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, with Destiny. I'm like, Destiny? I'm like, thinking back in the race, I'm all, so like, I was like running 4th or 5th. Like, I don't think I saw her at it. Like, was she right behind me? I didn't know. And he's like, and he kind of turns and looks, and I kind of walk out of the trailer, and Destiny's kind of at the back of the trailer. And I'm like, Destiny, I wasn't around you, was I? She's all, not that go-kart kid. So he's all, no apologies or anybody. Well, he marches off and went to yell at
I've
some
had
other
enough of you.
go-kart
I'm
kid.
going to someone else now.
Yeah, I was going to get beat up by somebody's...
Never mind.
Girlfriend.
I'm not mad at you anymore.
I
I don't know if I've ever been mad at the wrong person.
That does happen. That could happen a lot.
I do. When I do get mad at somebody, I will
Like
debrief
somebody,
with my crew.
like
Yeah.
somebody
Hey.
taking you out of Petaluma. Hey, Rick.
Yes, I want to know who took me out before I go yell at him. Was it him or him?
It was not the 35 car. Please don't go to the 35 car.
Ask Andy about his pavement days. You raced pavement?
The brother.
Oh, no way.
Short-lived.
Well, Jesus, it was boring. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, asphalt, it's a butt disease, right? So why would anybody go race it? But, yeah, so we screwed around a little bit with USAC, you know, in the 90s, I guess. Mid to late 90s. And, you know, so USAC came out with this plan where they wanted to do combo races, and you run the same car. Dirt car, pavement car, back and forth. You know, great idea. Perfect intentions. Until one guy builds a pavement car, and he kicks everybody's ass. And then everybody's got a pavement car. And we never built a pavement car, so we would go to these dirt or pavement races in a dirt car. And
How many did you run?
if I ran 20 races in
That's
my
a lot.
career, in my whole life, I mean,
That's a lot, though.
well, I mean, it was
That's a
they
lot.
they ran a series. I mean, we
That's
tried
crazy.
it, but I drove for Jim Peniagua for a few races, and my own piece of crap, and just it's a lot of just easy on the throttle,
Yeah.
easy off the throttle. Don't get sideways. Turn so softly.
Yeah.
And it's like that. I mean, I am the worst person for that type of racing. Right? That's not my cup of tea. So
So that year,
Boring.
we all had those 3 modifieds, me and my brother and sister. My dad took me to Stockton pavement track.
99, I raced there.
And
Yeah.
modifieds were racing.
That's kind of a cool pavement track.
And it was basically like, kind of, you get a feel like, is this what we want to do? And like, like I know what you're saying. Like I never experienced it, like in the driver's seat, but like that's what it looked like. I'm all, Dad, like this is what we wanted. I don't think so.
There's, to me, I mean, there's definitely like an elegance to pavement racing if you're really good at it. Like Tony Hunt was excellent pavement racer, but I never see a time where you just bow up and like, I'm getting her done this lap, because if you do that on pavement, you're 5/10 off, right? I mean, the slower you go and the calmer you are in the car, the faster you go. It's like asinine. So yeah,
think
I
that
was
it's
not
just saying
meant
us
for pavement.
Dirt drivers are just stupider. Like we're
Yeah.
trying to go faster, to
Yeah.
be faster.
There ain't no getting up on the wheel, elbows up when you're pavement racing. At least at the tracks that I raced at, which I raced like Madera, Altamont, we ran Stockton, Never went to Irwindale. We were
That was a
out of
fun
that.
track. We went to a turkey night there one
So-
time.
That was a legit racetrack.
That was
yeah.
fun to watch. That was cool.
So that was like, yeah, because I knew I was going to Disneyland. But we're like going to a racetrack at the same time, and this is pretty new in our relationship. So the only racing I'd seen was him. So I'm like, we're doing what? We're going to what? And then you guys have talked about like, let's go down to Turkey Night. I'm like, I don't want to do that again. And then we watch it on TV. I'm like, oh, that's not the same Turkey Night.
Yeah,
No, I
that
could
was-
hang with
they
this
went
Turkey
a few
Night.
years on the pavement track there, and now they're at Ventura. But so that's that.
I had an opportunity to go sprint car payment racing one year. Gary Perkins kind of set me up with Bob Scott, an interview kind of with Bob Scott, and he wanted
A Chico car owner.
yeah. Was he living in Washington at that point? No.
Yeah, I think he went from Chico to Washington. He was the 09 car, 09 and possibly back in the Chico days, like in the 80s. And I think he did get some drivers drive for him up at Washington. But go
Yeah.
ahead, sorry.
But yeah, no, they were doing the pavement USAC series out west. One of the races was going to be like Phoenix. That's big, like 1.5 miles. So that would have been crazy.
Yeah,
but
sprint cars don't belong on that big of a track. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My
but it was
opinion.
like, but the deal was like 60 grand for like
5 races.
15 races or
smoking
something like
deal.
that.
Hell yeah, why not?
And I'm like, and that was the year that the year before we basically did all the Civil War and some King of the West. And well, Dad, we like raced 60 times last year. And I'm
On
like,
60 grand.
now we have to come up with 60 grand to race 15. Like, just that. So that was my one shot, I guess. But we had Matt DiBenedetto. He was a go-kart kid. And then they sold the business, packed up everything, went back east, North Carolina, and then kind of got rides here and there. And it was like a couple years later, like they came back to Gridley and they had like a little kind of just get together with all the go-kart families and stuff, and
Black Bear Diner.
Black Bear Diner, and had a VHS tape, and we were watching his racing. I'm like, man, you left for that? Like, and then like
That ain't ever
like
gonna
like
get
we're
you anywhere.
just watching. I'm like, oh man. And then he like actually got up on the wheel and rails him in. Well, that's what I'm talking about. But
You can't
but
pass
obviously
on
it worked for
payment.
him. I know, but it worked for him. Like he just stuck to it, plugged away, made it to NASCAR. Kid stud.
How old were you when you got your first win? Both of you.
In a go kart or sprint car?
Sprint car.
Well, I never won in a go-kart, never raced in a go-kart.
Yes, you
You
did.
did one time, right?
Well, that was once I had already started racing. So yeah, okay, I raced a go-kart in a heat race one time, and I couldn't get out fast enough.
That could be your worst
Thought I
track
was gonna
ever.
die.
The-
The Chico Pavilion.
Indoor
I don't
Chico
think they
Pavilion.
had dirt on it at that time. I think I raced on the concrete. They had it
With
was
the syrup?
concrete. Yeah, they had concrete. Then they put dirt in. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I got in this cart and I didn't fit in it right. So if I sat in it properly and my seatbelts were fine and I sat comfortably, the roll cage was like that. So I had to loosen the belts and drive like this. And this thing's doing wheel stands and it's bouncing all over the place. I finished the heat race. I was like, you know what? Thanks, but no thanks. I thought I was gonna die.
Was it Tartar's car?
Yeah,
or
it was
Cannon's?
Michael Tartar's car. Cannon brokered a deal, so of course it was screwed up. Cannon had his fingers in it. What was the question though? I can't-
First sprint car win. How old
Oh.
were you?
21-ish.
So 02, so it was 21.
Placerville?
No, not 02.
My first win was in 1997. So here's... Okay, so, I mean, I won a moderate amount of races, right? I raced for 6 years before I even won a race.
Yeah.
And then finally I won a race. And I'm like, okay. It's on my Donkey Kong. Go to Petaluma the next week for a Civil War show. Didn't even make the main event. Ran the B. And then I didn't win another race until October of 1998.
Oh, wow.
So like a year and a half took me to win again. So yeah,
Got cocky.
it was slim pickings there at the old 92 camp.
I didn't know all that because I met Sean in winter of 01, 02. And then, like, talking to Candace, like, we'd go places and you watch someone like you guys are winning all these races and we're hanging out. And then you see someone who almost wins and then you guys pass them. And I'm like, it's kind of sad, right? Like, they've been racing for 10 years and they've never won a race. And, like, our guys win all the time and they just pass them on the last lap. Like, I feel bad, but yay for our boys.
I don't feel bad.
I don't feel bad.
But
Because I sucked for a long time, so I got to take it while I can get it.
But could you, I mean, like, how mentally, if you raced for 10 years and never won a race, like, that's tough to keep going,
sorry,
right?
Dude, yeah.
Then you're racing for a different purpose.
I try to act tough though, but I do have a soft spot for that. Like, there's certain guys that like have always raced me like really cleanly and stuff, and like I'd have to like convince myself like, get up on the wheel and pass them. You can do it. Like, don't give them this win. Like, I had to do that.
I'm trying to think if I would race anybody like that. Who would I do that to? I did give Benson a pep talk one night on a red flag, and I think you were in second.
Yeah.
And I was in third.
Did he hold me off?
He won.
God, thanks a lot.
So I told him.
That's another win. We'll take Andy stole from me.
I got next to him on the red, and Mike don't win that much.
So where was it?
It was at Placerville.
Okay.
And so I actually took my helmet off. I had to have a serious conversation with him, and he's got his helmet on. He won't even look at me, his earplugs and shit are in, and I'm yelling and screaming at him, and I kind of told him, this is what you need to do. Hold off Becker. He did.
Dang it. What a dick.
And I think, what the hell did I tell him? I told him something about the scoreboard and watch the scoreboard. And then next thing I think I got by you, so now I'm in second. So I know that had to frazzle him. But anyways, I ran second, and I think you ran third, and Benson won. That might have, that wasn't his last win at Placerville, but yeah. Anyways.
Do you guys do you look at the scoreboard pretty often during a race? Is it weird to go to a track that doesn't have a scoreboard? Like, do you feel like, dang it, I can't see who's behind me, or I don't know what's, like...
So, it was funny, because one time in Stockton, like, we were all going to go to Stockton and said, they don't even have receivers. Like, they're not going to be able to talk to the drivers. And I remember thinking, like, this is going to take forever. And then when we got, like, how are we going to know when to start? Like... Nobody's going to be able to tell us. So then we get out on the track and then the light goes out. It's like, oh, this is how we used to do it back in the day. Like, and then if the lineup wasn't right, you had somebody out there pointing to people and like, it's easy.
That never
like,
made sense. They would do this.
Oh, I never could understand either. I know what the lineup's supposed to do and I don't know what they're doing out there pointing.
Yeah, sometimes it gets confusing, but still, like,
I don't mind here. So
it's
okay.
Okay.
This is something you could do if you're scoring and you're at a track with no scoreboard. I don't care about if someone's behind me, if I don't know, whatever. But I do like to know what lap it is. So like if there's a yellow flag, like let's say at Marysville, it'd be nice if they would say, okay, we're going lights out and there's 13 laps to go. That's all I would care about. It's kind of nice to know how many
Rat
laps.
usually does that. Like when I work with him, he usually does that. So here's like my little, in the booth, I got everything going on. I got the computer. My hand is always on my mouse, like hovering over the yellow, assuming that it's going to be a yellow, not a red. But it's like, I really want my computer to show exactly when the yellow flag, at least when you guys heard it, saw it, or the flag waved. If it's light flag or that, like, I want the computer to show the exact story. My biggest fear when I'm calling for the white flag, because I call it, theoretically, the computer says 3 laps to go because you haven't crossed for that 2 to go yet. And so we say white flag next lap. Every single time, and I wear the same headset every single time, but I have a receiver and I have the official radio. And I'm always like, don't say it to the drivers. Which one? Don't say it to the drivers. Don't. Because how bad would that? How like? If I said to the driver, white flag next lap, are you like, shit, I gotta go? Or like,
I brought
sweet.
that up actually at the drivers meeting at Stockton a few years ago before they moved the track and back when the flagman was on the infield on that scissor lift. We'd had a few races where we didn't know the checker was
flag
out.
was 5 laps to go.
One night after the race is over. So I just said, hey, when the white flag comes out, is everybody cool if they just say white flag a couple times?
Yeah.
And I think they did that night, and then the track got rebuilt, and we had a normal flag stand, and that helped a lot. But
No, I don't think it would have messed anybody up, like, if you accidentally did that. So that's funny that you, like, put that pressure on yourself.
Yeah, I do. I totally do, because I'm like, I can't say that to the drivers.
If anything, people probably would have appreciated it instead of, like,
I'm big on
for it.
information. Any information is better than no information.
I know, but, like, we don't
It
have
wouldn't be
rear-view
right, but it
mirrors,
wouldn't
and
hurt
you know,
anything.
like, I don't feel, I mean, again, like, if you see the scoreboard and who's behind you, you can also see what lap you're on. So...
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't pay that much attention to the scoreboard. I mean, I glance over it every now and then, but, I mean, I'm not looking at it.
Yeah,
15 laps, 16 laps, 17 laps.
Certain tracks for sure. But, like, I remember, well, we just ran the Tartar race, and we ran a lot of green flag laps at the end. Do you know how many it was? Like,
Oh, my...
that last race at the Tartar.
How many
This
green
year.
flag laps we went?
Yeah,
I
at
don't
the
know.
end, like, I don't know, but
Let's
It
talk
was-
about that. You were good in the 16A.
yes, that 16A.
That was cool.
Yeah, it was fast.
410 guy.
I had a lot of people, like compliment me about that. It's like, they acted like I didn't know how to race before, but it was like, Sean, you did good. I'm like, yeah, thanks.
I used to do this.
Yeah, it felt good.
You know who didn't do good that weekend? Me. Did you drive by me while I was on my lid Friday night?
I was like, you won.
Well, no, I got upside down Friday night. I knew better, too, to sling it in there and hit that curve like that.
Why would you do that?
So he, like, ran that line after
Stupid.
all that. I'm like, did he not see other people flipping there? What is he doing? Because I always know where he should run.
Well,
I don't know why nobody ever asked
There's
me.
a difference on how you run it, though. You can go
Yeah,
into
yeah.
the bad spots of racetracks. You just got to do the right thing in the bad spot. If you do the bad thing in the bad spot, you're going to get your ass handed to you. And I did.
That was a weird night, though. You flipped, Shane flipped,
Willie.
and Willie flipped.
Willie
like,
flipped exactly how I
Exactly
flipped,
how
so
you
that kind of
did,
made
yeah.
me feel better. Well, I'm not the only stupid one here.
oh, that was a good race.
But anyways, like, we had a lot of green flag laps on that, and after a while, it's like, God, it's got to be getting close to the end. So then I would look at the board like, okay, well, we got 5 more laps to go. So
Let's talk
Yeah.
about this weekend. Screw all the questions.
I know.
What are
You're
you
good.
driving this weekend?
the Don Bjork owned 7B, another yellow car out there.
So, let's talk about this. You got his kid
So-
fired to drive his car.
Nope. Stop it.
You forced Blevins into retirement.
Oh, man.
And you got the other kid fired out of the 22 car.
Look at the other kid. No.
That's the rumor.
Oh,
It was
jeez.
on the internet.
I did actually read a press release today.
They shit
I
canned
like
their
press
other
releases.
drivers just strictly for the shark.
No.
Jason, that was not the case.
This
The
is like
press,
the Terminator here.
the press release said, due to all of the rainouts happening up there, we're going to focus the rest of our season on
Well, it
Sean.
ain't gonna rain all
Oh, that's
damn
cool.
year up there. I took it as, hey, Sean's pretty good. Let's fire the other guy and put him in full time. That's how I took it.
Of course, that's how you took it.
I don't think that's what happened.
I
But-
kid because I care.
But my uncle actually worked for Don Bjork. So this is like 06 or 07, I think. I was driving for Tom Fisher at that point, and my uncle, he's tile setter just like my dad, but he worked for Don, and Don, his kid, obviously raced quarter midgets and stuff like that. So he was into racing and met up with me at that point. So he sponsored us that year. Like, was a good sponsor and good friend. And I think it was just for that 1 year though. It's either 06 or 07. But yeah, then his son got old enough, like a few years later, to start racing himself.
Uh-huh.
So Brent's been racing off and on, but they're all workaholics. So Brent, I know, lives in Oroville.
What are you doing?
She said hello.
I don't know where Dawn lives, but Brad Bumgarner, he takes care of the car. So the car's at the Bumgarner shop in Chico. So whenever we ran the Tartar race that weekend, I actually brought my seat over. And anyway, early in the year, Dawn kind of talked to me about racing Trophy Cup possibly at the end of the year. I said, no, I'm definitely down for that. So it sounds like that's going to happen. I'll be in the 7B for Trophy Cup, but he wanted to make sure we got a couple of practice races in, especially at Tulare.
So do you think this is your last weekend will be it for the 7B until Trophy Cup, or?
Well, it could be. He has talked about possibly racing a little bit more here and there, and my schedule has opened up as of recently. So we might be.
You did so bad at Placerville. The one night you drove the 1B, they just said we're done.
Basically.
Holy crap, that's embarrassing.
We
knew that was going to be interesting. I mean, they have a race team. Is it for other people or is it for their kid to drive? I can see that being difficult. So that wasn't the biggest surprise, I don't think.
Yeah.
But you got the other kid fired out of the 22. You got Bjork fired out of his own car. So, I mean, you got some rides now. It's looking good.
Just work on that 92 car. Fire that driver.
The car owner likes you more, so I don't know why you're not in that car.
Well, it doesn't take much for
I wouldn't
her.
be flipping over like at Chico, hitting the rut wrong.
Yeah.
I stay on all fours when I drive. It's a piece of cake.
Yeah, and I was all concerned about you on Sunday, like you're complaining, just hurting, I'm done. I'm like, oh no, are you really hurt? I'm all concerned. You're sitting at the table waiting for me to walk.
Oh yeah,
for
that
my
was funny. I
surprise.
played a funny one on. Yeah, so yeah. Your stupid wife had a birthday party last Sunday, and I was texting her like I was hurt on the couch.
Oh, good job.
I was at the restaurant waiting for her to show up so I could start eating.
Actor Andy Forsberg.
Luckily, Statler tipped the waiter to take our table's order first, so we ate first.
And I thought, how did this guy? They're not even done ordering over here. This guy's got appetizers in front of him.
People who know how to eat know how to order. All right, are we dumb?
Yeah, you are
We
done.
are so
Brad
dumb. We're so
Bradshaw.
dumb.
Paul isn't watching. So our old buddy Brad Bradshaw, that's my sponsor's buddy, CHP. He's the one that kind of, when everybody was having problems getting through the scales there, and I think Van Lair and a couple of people were getting pulled in for not pulling in, towing with a crew cab.
Oh.
CHP Brad took care of that problem.
Oh.
Yeah, he made a phone call, and
That was nice.
the guy that was pulling the racers in does not work there anymore. Let's just say. So
Boy,
you want to
Brad.
be friends with CHP Brad.
Hell yeah.
Have you guys ever had any issues towing? Like,
Oh, jeez.
well,
Like, you're talking about with cops or
yeah, like
with,
just yeah.
toll booths and
Not toll booths, but like.
the third lane.
Oh yeah, I got a ticket in Los Angeles one time for not being in the. I always knew you weren't supposed to be in the fast lane towing. Well, in Auburn, there's 3 lanes. There's the slow, medium, and fast. Well, shit, I get down to LA and there's like 9 freaking lanes.
yeah.
So I wasn't in the fast lane, but I wasn't in the first 2 lanes, and yeah, so some cop wanted to make his quota that day, gave me a ticket, but trailer problems,
That's for
yeah,
Paris? Like
that
down to
was on our
Paris?
way down to Paris, yeah. We've lost a couple trailer tires on my dad's old trailer. Yeah, driving down the freeway, and all of a sudden there goes your trailer tire right next to you. And then it went into oncoming traffic.
Oh.
Yeah, didn't hit nothing.
Wasn't there a story about a sprint car losing a sprint car off the back?
I've
of a
never
trailer?
lost them, but yeah, people have lost sprint cars off their trailer, like the old open trailer
Right.
days. Yeah, sure. I think maybe Jack Gordon's team got all the way back to Sacramento before they figured out the car was gone. It was in
man.
Chico on the side of the freeway.
No,
Oh,
from Chico.
God.
Yeah.
How do you? I mean, I don't know. I am a sissy when it comes to towing. I tow a little tiny golf cart, and I look in my rearview mirror like 80,000 times a minute to make sure it's still there
It's always there.
until it's not.
Yeah, well then. Oh,
All right.
well. Are we dumb yet?
Yep.
All right. Okay.
So,
Night 1 tomorrow.
Tulare tomorrow.
The Thunderdome. I sure hope the
Good
track
park
is
count?
okay. I'm worried. These double shows make me nervous.
It's not super hot though.
That's a lot of big right rears and a lot of wings moving air. So I mean, what would you think? 70 cars? I mean, I'm thinking like 40, 25-ish, 40, 20 maybe, so 60 cars. I mean, that's a lot of sprint cars.
How many double duties?
I don't know. I think I know Montgomery's brought his 410, and he'll be in the F&F deal.
I would say at least.
You know, the double duty deal's kind of gone down a little bit, which I think is good. The 410 guys kind of sticking to the 410 thing, which is, that's a step in the right direction if we're ever going to get 410s back to where they should be here.
That was something funny about Chico is, you know, we have the double duty drivers that do, you know, sprint cars back to back. It was Brian Cooper, I think, raced hobby stock. Then the sprint car heats went, and then the B mods went, and he wasn't in staging, and we said, well, we're gonna go. Well, he ran in the he is running double duty. It's like, it was like 45 minutes ago. We ran three heat races between this.
The double duty nights suck when you're in heat 4 and heat 1.
Yeah,
those things are maybe a dash and a B.
Right.
You're just like, I just don't want to go sit in the trailer and put tear-offs on my helmet for a minute. But anyways.
I feel like we only had like 2 or 3 double duties before.
All right.
Definitely going to take rubber is the consensus here.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. I mean, no, I'm not bitching and moaning about either track prep, but that's a lot of cars in the Central Valley. I mean, rubber could happen.
A lot of money, a lot of tires.
So, yeah, expensive tires, tire shortage. Speaking of shortages, I ordered rear end December 6th from Kreitz, from Winners. I still don't have it. Yeah, so hopefully I don't knock a rear end out of my car this weekend.
Don't get too close to me. Put you in the wall.
Yeah? Is that a threat?
Wouldn't be the first time.
You wouldn't crash your idol, would you? Or your hero? Hero. All right, turn this thing off. We might have set a record tonight. Does it say how long we went?
Oh, hell yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't say on here.
All right, good night.
See you guys.
Tomorrow at the
Let's do this.
Thunderdome.